How much money do you make?
Make $1 million every month.
And how old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, what do you do? What is it?
I build mobile consumer apps. This one is Cal AI. It's an app where you take a picture of your food and it will tell you how many calories it is.
So you literally just take a picture of your meal and it just counts the calories for you?
Yeah, it's much simpler than any other app like MyFitnessPal.
Welcome to the second part of our animation. If you're doing the same thing like me, you're just going to come to this around 8 seconds, 13 milliseconds. So we add this, we cut the clip here. So I'm just going to delete this clip from here, get a new fusion composition so that it can be easy for us to work with. Just going to make sure I zoom it in, and I see that I have connected it here. Now I'm going to right click on this one and open in Fusion page. In the Fusion page, I have this. I'm going to get a background node, connect my background node to my media out, do the same thing, and shift space media in node. I'm going to connect the media in node to the background, and in the media in, I'm going to change it from timeline to background so that it appears like this. You realize that here we have this Cal AI 3D animation coming in. So what am I going to do is I'm going to get our Cal AI image from here, close our media pool, just name that F2 Cal AI, enter. Now this is 3D animation, so I'm going to get an image plane 3D, and I'm going to add a camera 3D. It's going to create a mesh node, and I'm going to add a renderer 3D that's going to add that one. I'm going to connect it here. So if we take a look at this in our first viewer here, we see that it's just a black background. Let's come to this background and change the alpha value down to 0. Now in the camera, we're going to shift it backwards, that's zoom out backwards like that. So what I'm just going to quickly do is Control G in the first viewer, Control G second one, and I'm going to keep zooming until I see that it's around this one. I'm going to zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Let's go to I think that is better. Now after zooming in, we're going to keyframe the X, Y, Z translation at frame 0, and we're going to go to where it stops moving around frame 45. That's frame 45. We're going to keyframe the X, Y, and Z value again. We're just going to zoom this in, and make sure we have the first one in our first view here. Make sure we zoom it in again, or to going to zoom it in again, take it down a little bit, and then zoom out. So we take it here. Yes, I think that this is better. So these are the camera values at frame 45. Now go to frame 65. We're going to add a shift space transform XF transform 3D, enter. And at frame 65, we're going to keyframe the XY and XYZ translation and the Z rotation, because if you look at it when it ends, you'll see that there's a rotation here. So go to frame 115 and keyframe the same values again. Now we're going to make sure that we mimic this rotation here. So we're just going to move this one to the side, move it again, and I'm going to rotate it like that. I'm going to take it up, shift it to the side, take it up. I'm going to zoom it in a little bit. So this, yeah, I'm just going to, yeah. So these are the camera settings at frame 115. So you can copy these values. Then next thing, we are just going to go into spline with these values, and we're going to select zoom to fit, select all, and hit S. That's for the transform 3D. And I'm going to select the camera, zoom to fit, select all, hit S again to smoothen that out. You can use any animation, any type of smoothing you want, and you're going to see that okay, we have that. So if I play
This
that, good. So we have that. Next thing we want to do is we want to create this background. So if you come back to this background like this, if we turn the alpha value up, you're going to see that, I don't know if you can see, but when I look at it, I see that the background is a gradient background, and they've changed the gradient from linear to radial. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make sure I hide this merge node so that I can see. I hide this merge node so that I can see what I'm doing with this background. I'm going to come to this background. I'm going to move this one from here to the center. I'm going to move it away. At this point here, this second point here, I'm going to change it to very dark black, and at the first one here, I'm going to change it to a lighter color like that. I think that is okay. Yeah, I'm just going to enable this. We are done with the back with that background. Good. Now if you look at it, you're going to see that his is darker here. It goes like from dark to around frame 10, which is becomes clear, and it remains like that. What we're going to do is just going to shift this to the side. I'm going to get a background node, connect my background node to this here. I'm going to move it to the side, and in this my background node, I'm going to make sure I'm looking at this background node. Now you see we have a dark screen. Now at frame 0, come to this background, and in the mesh node, decrease the blend value from the mesh node. Can decrease it like okay, that's, I think that's greater. Keyframe the value at frame 0 and go to frame 10, and you can reduce the blend just a little bit like that. Now you have the same thing. If you look at it, yes, you have the same thing. So cool. The next thing we want to do is let's just finish with this car AI only with the 3D animation first, then we can continue with the text. If you come to frame 115 where our transform node ends its animation and play
will tell
from
you
the,
how many
you're going to see
calories
that
it
there
is.
is images shaking around here. How do we do that? I'm just going to shift space and add a camera shake. In the camera shake, I'm going to change the X rotation. So these are the camera shake settings. You can copy these settings. So if I play it now from frame 115, you see it shaking too. I need to lift it up a bit. So I'm going to come to this transform. I'm going to go to frame 115, and I'm going to take the Y value up. After adding the camera shake, you're going to see that it shakes. The camera is shaking here. The image is not shaking here. So how do we fix that? We're going to go to the camera shake, go to the keyframe tabs, make sure you zoom to fit, and we're just going to take it to make sure we're just going to take it to where it's at frame 115 so that it shakes only at frame 115. It starts from there. So if you play from frame
It will tell you how many
115,
calories
you
it is.
see it shakes from there. Good. So next thing we want to do is, if you look at it here, it's kind of like dark down here, but this here it's clear. So how do we fix that? We're going to get above this one, we're going to get the background node, get an ellipse mask, connect the ellipse mask to the background and the background to our main merge. Make sure we are reviewing this one here. In the ellipse node, I'm going to create an expression at width, connect the width to the height so that we can have a perfect circle, and we can lift it up like that, and we can increase the width size like that and invert it. So if you invert it, you have that. Now next thing you want to do is want to bump up the soft edge, and you have this, which is not what we want. So I'm going to use 0.3. Boom, you see you have kind of same thing here. Good. So with that, the next thing we want to do is just add this Cal AI and calorie tracker. So what I'm going to do is we are going to create one together, and the next one I'm going to create it while I'm going to fast forward it. So the next is get a text node. In the text node, I'm going to write cal AI. The font I'm going to use is helvetica at bold. Now I'm going to make sure I connect it to this our node stream text node. I'm going to bump up the size like that, and make sure I take the text down to where this one is, like here. I'm going to bump up the size again, and just make sure I come to the transform and shift it to the sides to it's like that. Good. Now let's watch our text animation. How does the text animate? Okay, it's a follower modifier with with an opacity animation. So if you go to it starts from frame 4. So what do? We're going to go to this text, same thing, right click in this box and hit follower. It's going to open this modifier. You can change it to any value you want for now, and you're going to change it from character to word so that it animates as a word. So you're going to go to the first frame where the word appears, that is frame 4. Keyframe the offset. It's going to open this part. You just double click on the follower, go to frame 11, keyframe the x and y offset again. At frame 4, take it down like somewhere around there. So it's going to, if you play it now, you see it does that. So now what we have to do is, if you see there is, it comes in, it's not fully opaque, like the opacity is animated too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, let's just make sure that our animation is, the delay is okay. Yeah, that delay, I think the delay is fine. Good. Or maybe can just increase it a little bit. Good. So I'm going to add a rectangle mask to this one. Make sure that I connect the rectangle mask here, size it to fit the wall cal, and move it to the side like this. I'm going to get and Control C on this rectangle and Control V again. I'm going to connect it, and in this rectangle I'm going to move it to the side to make sure it fits the wall AI. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make sure that I come to where the word is, like at frame 4 in the first rectangle. I'm going to keyframe the level value, take it all the way down to 1, and I'm going to go to frame 10, and I'm going to take the level value all the way up to 1. Now in the next rectangle I'm going to go to frame 12, keyframe the level value, take it down to 0. Go to frame 16, take the level value all the way up, and you have that. Good. So if you play it now here,
This one is
good.
this one is cal.
Good. That's it. So if you look at it, the text has glow. So I'm just going to shift space and I'm going to search for glow. I'm going to add that there. I think the default settings are good. You can play with the glow if you want. Now the next thing is adding the, you see, calorie tracker. Same thing. I'm just going to copy this entire text. I'm going to Control C and Control V. So I'm going to paste it here. Make sure I paste it and hold down Shift to paste it, and it's going to appear like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure, just going to quickly use the keyframe tabs to move all these animations to where they are supposed to be, and we're going to continue from there. Now I'm going to change the word to calorie tracker. Make sure I'm viewing here. I'm going to take it down here. I'm going to change it from bold to regular. I'm going to size it down like a lot, and I'm going to change the size of the rectangle to make sure it fits each and every word. Good. If you look at it, we have our animation. See the same thing. You have the exact same thing. Good. So now we have that. So that is all. I think that you can just come to this and you make sure that you go to the keyframes tab, zoom to fit, select all, hit S. Now our animation is done. This our 3D animation is done. Good. We just need to go to where it ends and cut it, so it ends around frame 166. So I'm going to go back to the edit page, select this one and make sure I cut it here. I'm going to delete this one here. So from here, what we have to do is we have to generate our text. But before that, I'm just going to show you how to generate one text, and the rest you can do it on your own. I'm going to go to text, get a text plus, and bring it to your timeline. Make sure it touches your precise. In the text, I'm going to write so you, and the font he has used here is Open Sans, so you don't need to look for any other font. Open Sans at bold. Next thing, what you have to do is go down, take it down, and you make sure it fits, and you bump up the size. So you can bump up the size to about 0.15. Cool. And make sure you change this S to capital S. Good. So if you go to layout, you can shift this to the side like this, and you see that it fits exactly because it's the same font. So that's what you have to do. You're just going to move forward like this, and you change it. So here is just take. Now you're going to highlight this text, Control B. You're going to cut it here, and this text you're going to write just take. So that's what you have to do, and you look at it, it fits the same. You just need to play with these values like that, or you play with the size here. Just need to play with the size, maybe the tracking. Good. You see that is what works. So you can go forward. Yep. Good. Here you cut it again, Control B, and in this text you're going to change the value to a picture. So that's basically what you're going to do for this entire text. You see it's lining up perfectly. So what I'm going to do is, since I've shown you, I'm just going to quickly create all this text, and then we are going to continue from there. So let me do that. So if I play the text I've generated, what you see.
You literally just take a picture of your meal and it just counts the calories for you.
Yeah, it's much simpler than any other app like MyFitnessPal.
Cool. I'm just going to delete this from here. Make sure that ours is the one clean. I told you in the past video that we have to add this transition here. That's this shine transition. So I'm going to go to effects, get an adjustment clip, bring it to my timeline. Make sure I put it here. Yep, make sure it's here. I'm just going to go to where, from here I'm going to search for where the transition ends. I'm just going to leave the transition around this long. So I'm going to delete it here. Right click and open in Fusion page. In the Fusion page, I have this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for a shift space, brightness and contrast. I'm going to enter, and at this level, at frame 0, I'm going to keyframe the gain value. I'm going to take it all the way up. So you see it's kind of looking now more brighter because there are 2 of them, the his and, or you can just reduce it like that, reduce it, and at the end, at the last frame, you're going to bring it all the way. You're just going to take it back to 1. Yes, go. You can go back to your spline if you want and just hit S. Now if you go back to the edit page, if I open our media pool, I delete this one and I bring the raw footage into our timeline like this, and I highlight, make sure that this one is open, and I play
How
it now.
much money do you make?
Make $1 million every month.
And how old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, what do you do? What is it?
I built.
So I'm going to make sure, let me just reduce the playback mode. I'm going to go to half. I'm going to make sure I use render at cache. So if I play it now,
How much money do you make?
Make $1 million every month.
And how old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, what do you do? What is it?
I build mobile consumer apps. This one is Cal AI. It's an app where you take a picture of your food and it will tell you how many calories it is.
So you literally just take a picture of your meal and it just counts the calories for you.
Yeah.
so if you have followed up this 2-part series and done the exact thing that I've shown you to do, you're going to end up with a clip like this.
How much money do you make?
Make $1 million every month.
And how old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, what do you do? What is it?
I build mobile consumer apps. This one is Cal AI. It's an app where you take a picture of your food and it will tell you how many calories it is.
So you literally just take a picture of your meal and it just counts the calories for you.
Yeah.
If you have watched this 2-part series and you like what you see, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.
How much money do you make?
Make $1 million every month.
And how old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, what do you do? What is it?
I build mobile consumer apps. This one is Cal AI. It's an app where you take a picture of your food and it will tell you how many calories it is.
So you literally just take a picture of your meal and it just counts the calories for you.
Yeah, it's much simpler than any other app like MyFitnessPal.